Hello friends and fellow VEDSies. As you may have noticed, I fell behind on some of my videos, and so I wasn't able to put in the work that I wanted to complete Alicia's challenge about writing the worst opening line to a book you could imagine. But it did make me think about some of my favorite opening lines, which I'll share with you today. Most of them are fairly recognizable, but even with iconic opening lines, you may misremember them. Most people would probably guess that the opening line to A Christmas Carol is "Old Marley was dead as a doornail," but it actually begins with quite a bit of lead up to that. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. That is a line that is so iconic that even if you haven't read A Christmas Carol, you probably know it. A similar line for me is, "Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again," from Rebecca. I have seen the movie Rebecca, which also starts with this line, but I've never actually read the book. I was going to steal a copy of it from work, but someone else did that before I could, and I'm kind of upset. I guess there are no honor amongst book thieves. Some opening lines kind of throw you off. The opening to The Hobbit is, "In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit," which seems simple enough, but of course this is J.R.R. Tolkien, so the next line is much more elaborate. "Not a nasty, dirty, wet hole filled with inns of worms and oozy smells, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole with nothing in it to sit down on or to eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort." Of course, I spend a lot of time reading things that are written in dead languages, and so in that situation, it's less about the opening line and more about which translator you pick. Like, do you prefer Robert Fagel's opening to the Iliad? "Rage, goddess, sing the rage of Peleus' son Achilles, murderous, doomed." Or do you prefer Stanley Lombardo's translation? "Rage, sing goddess, Achilles is rage, black and murderous." There's the opening to Toni Morrison's first novel, The Bluest Eye, "Quiet as it's kept, there were no marigolds in the fall of 1941. Or the opening to The Great Gatsby. "In my younger, more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing someone," he told me, "just remember that all the people in the world haven't had the advantages that you've had." But I think my favorite opening line from any book comes from another Fitzgerald book, The Beautiful and the Damned. In 1913, when Anthony Patch was 25, 2 years were already gone since irony, the Holy Ghost of this latter day, had, theoretically at least, descended upon him. I'll see you tomorrow, friends and fellow VEDSies.